Hello, everyone. A very, very warm welcome to International Symposium on Innovation in Education. And I'm so glad that we three are here. Barbara, Valerie, we've been working on this summit for months, and finally it's happening. I'm so glad. Thanks for joining. I see that some of the people are already joined here on, I
Thank you
guess,
so much,
YouTube, because I said
everyone.
thank you for joining and
So much.
taking time out to watching us, listening us, and it will be an amazing event. You will learn a lot from all the experts that we have gathered. So, Valerie, would you want to add something?
Yeah, I just want to say super excited for today. Thank you so much. And I'm super excited to hear our first talk. So please join
Yeah,
us and very excited.
yeah, and we are just handing over to Barbara, and the first session
Yes.
is about sorry, where is this?
Unleashing the power of human-animal interaction in
Yes,
educational
yes,
settings.
yes.
Yes.
So over to you, Barbara, and to your guest. Me and Valerie will go back the back of the stage, and we'll be there watching you, listening you, and commenting on you, commenting on the session. So please, those who are joined, please keep watching this amazing summit and keep interacting. We'll leave, and we'll see you there. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, both of you.
Oops.
And now we just need to bring Taylor. Here you go. Hi, Taylor.
Hello.
So nice to see you. Welcome. You are just an amazing speaker. When we talk about animal assisted intervention, including animals responsibly in educational settings, I think about you right away. And I want to welcome everyone to our International Symposium on Innovation in Education. And thank you for joining us, Dr. Taylor Chastain Griffin. And your talk is Unleashing the Power of Human-Animal Interaction in Educational Settings. And I just want to say a couple of words about you. You hold a lot of positions, a lot of important ones, because you are National Director of Animal Assisted Intervention Advancement for Pet Partners. And Pet Partners is one of the major Therapy Animals Association organization, because it certifies not only dogs as therapy animals, but also other animals. And that's absolutely incredible. And also, you are executive director of the Association of Animal Assisted Intervention Professionals. I know that you studied, your PhD was in research psychology, but you were also a counselor, correct? And you worked with your own therapy animals, and you've seen yourself what these interactions do in the settings that you included them. And you are helping us all, therapy animal teams, in upgrading our professional development, and also you helping those who research this practice, so we know more from not just practice but also from research. And you also publish author, dog trainer, speaker, and pet partners team evaluator, and you are doing it all, and that's absolutely amazing. It's a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. And I just love this whole topic of innovation in education.
Thank you so much. And I think it's so important to list and maybe discuss briefly, at least, some major highlights of the benefits of including responsibly therapy animals in educational settings. And I know that you know those benefits, and you're absolutely perfect person to hear about them from.
Yeah, well, I love this question. I love that you said responsibly, because that is a big key piece. It's more than just bringing an animal, into a school setting. But I have seen some incredible things over the years, and I think there's a reason we're seeing across both of the organizations that I represent. One of the quickest growing spaces where therapy animals are requested and are present are in educational settings, because the results are really phenomenal. I started out doing some of my dissertation research, bringing therapy animals in for a reading program, actually within the Department of Juvenile Justice. So this was with incarcerated youth who many had their reading skills were far behind their age level, their grade level. And this is a time in my life where I'm just getting started in the field and I didn't really know what to expect. I was just learning how to collect data, but I had my trusty therapy dog, Charlie. She was a rescued bulldog mix who would come with me and sit by these kids while they practice their reading skills. And over 6 weeks, we monitored their growth. I recorded and transcribed sessions and counted fluency, and we took other measures as well. And as I was starting to go through the data, I tell everyone I had to check it 3 or 4 times because I couldn't believe what I was hearing. That week after week, these kids, these young adults were getting so much better at their reading skills. They were much more confident. They enjoyed reading. And at that time, I knew there's something to this. There's something to the ability for therapy animals to help with educational outcomes, reading, math, all kinds of skills. I would often ask the kids who participated in the program, what do you think it is? Like, Charlie sometimes would fall over on her back, snore, during the sessions. And so she wasn't doing too much, but she was getting them out of their minds. Kind of, we kind of get in our heads sometimes when you have to read out loud and you can feel insecure. She was making it fun for them. And so over time, they really started to do better and better. So I think there's certainly some educational outcomes that are impacted when we talk about bringing in therapy animals into the educational setting, but there are so many other variables that impact wellness. And as everyone here knows, in order to learn, we have to be well. And so, I love stories from, we have a superintendent, Dr. Dan Dooley of our associate. He's the board chair of AAAIP, and he has a phenomenal therapy animal program in his school. He talks even about, children who have a behavioral issue in the classroom. If they bring in the therapy dog to help, that child needs far less time to regulate and go back into the classroom with the support of the dog. So they get back into the classroom, much less interruption in the day. We know therapy animals can help model social and emotional skills. And then, of course, the motivation to learn. That's huge too, right? I joke with people when I was first becoming a mental health counselor. I was an intern, and I had no problem with no-shows for my counseling appointments. And all of my colleagues in the program with me were saying, what in the world? Half of my clients are not showing up. The only difference was that I had a therapy dog present and people really wanted to come see him. So the same thing happens in education.
It's just amazing, and I totally agree with what you witnessed. I got my own experiences too, and I think one of the most striking ones, probably from a small group of remedial math. I remember we had 2 boys, and these kids, they just don't like to go to these groups because they know that their skills are weak, and that's why they're in those groups. Yeah. So they don't like to leave their classrooms. I wish educational system came up with a little bit better ways of helping children who need some more help. But they were very happy to go to the group when they knew Carmel was there. It changed everything. And also when we incorporated movement, and when my dog likes to be a little bit more playful. So that really helped a ton. And then the activity was over before you knew, because when you're having fun, the time goes by fast. So that was just amazing. And I'm thinking about 3 groups of people who really have some questions about, like, how do we do it? How do we start? How do I bring a program of this kind to the school? Parents are curious about that, right? Some parents, at least. I think we need more advocacy in this area. Not every parent knows about these practices. Or maybe they heard, but they don't understand the full scope of benefits. Then there is a group of teachers too. They probably have questions too. How do I do it? What do I do? And we also have a group of people who have their own incredible dogs, maybe puppies, and they're thinking, what about if I train my dog or try to train my dog, and maybe my dog can be a therapy animal as well, and maybe I can go into school or another place. So I know that you and the organization, the Association of Animal Assisted Animal Assisted Intervention Professionals, triple AIP. It's a long name, but for a reason that you can assist all these professionals, all these groups in finding out, and it does not all have to be through belonging officially through the membership, right? If you could tell us how you could help all these groups who are interested how to do it, but they just don't know where
Yeah.
to start.
Absolutely. It's a question that really motivated me in my career because I came in, my goal was to be a mental health counselor with therapy animals, but I remember thinking I have no idea how to do this and how to do this well, and it's so important not only for our animals' welfare but for the safety of the children and everyone in the school. So that's really what we do across both organizations. So the first thing you could do, Pet Partners has thousands of incredible volunteer teams all around the world who are ready to come out and volunteer with their animals. So if you're in a school setting and you'd like to start that way, you can go to petpartners.org and post a volunteer opportunity and see, can I get these volunteer teams in my classroom, maybe even just for an hour a month to start. Now, our teams are trained, they have background checks, they have liability insurance. These are really top level therapy animal teams who are just ready to share the love of their animals with the community. So that's a really great way to get started. And if you have an animal who would be a good fit, then I encourage you to check out Pet Partners if your goal is to volunteer with your animal. So if you want to go to a hospital or a nursing home or a school in your community on a volunteer basis, Pet Partners is for you, and we'll walk you through that process. And then if you're a professional, if you're a teacher, an administrator, a school counselor, our other organization, the Association of Animal Assisted Intervention Professionals, which, yes, a mouthful, AAAIP, we walk you through every step of the way. So as a professional who brings an animal into your work, you need to have evidence of special competencies, so knowledge-based skills that make sure everyone who's interacting with the animal and the animal themselves is safe. And then we have a process that recently came out too, where an evaluator can come to your school, watch you and your dog or other animal together in the setting that you work. You get a certification. You're then able to get liability insurance as needed. But we know it's different in every school. We know it's different in every country. So if you have questions along the way as you build a program, we encourage you to reach out. We're here to support you. And we have many school systems all across the globe now who we've been fortunate to walk through this journey with and build this programming that we know is definitely changing the lives of the students who get to have it.
That's amazing. And I know when in the past, when somebody reached to me, how do you do it? We all kind of come up with our own ideas, because our journey to therapy dog activities are different. Everybody is certified with a different organization. It can be done through different ways. But now, once I find out about your organization, which is actually my organization now too, because I belong to it, I remember, now I try to always direct everybody, well, why don't you check this association? Because that's what they are created for, to help people like you to find out more, to be able to make more choices, because my journey was what it was, but things change too, and we need to get some proper information and also more information, and I don't know it all. So the best thing is to direct to your organization. So for instance, if somebody had a question, they would reach out like through email, or I mean, not everybody is I know organization is on social media, but those DMs are not the best way, I think.
Yes. That can be hard. Well, on both websites, petpartners.org and AAAIPonline.org, there's a contact us button. So as you go through, and if you have questions, that will get to our team, and we'll decide who on the team is best to contact you and help you out. So that's the best way to get in touch. But I am also on LinkedIn and other social media, so you can reach out to me there as well. And we really are a supportive community. We want to help you out. If you have some some issues with stakeholder buy-in, we hear from parents often who say, I really want my kid to have this available, but their administrators at the school are not understanding the risk, or they don't understand that this is a legitimate intervention. Then we can step in and help as well. We really want to champion this work so that as many kids as possible have access to what we believe is really powerful.
Incredible. And could you also tell us, because we still have a couple minutes, what are the plans for maybe if there are plans for expanding the organization, any ideas, anything that you may be working on currently, if it's possible to reveal?
Yes, absolutely. Well, we're very excited this year. One of our focuses is to partner with dog trainers. Number one, because we want to help dog trainers understand how our therapy animals should be trained. It's very important that we only train therapy animals using positive reinforcement, relationship building techniques, giving the animals freedom of choice. But we also know that our dog trainers could really help us out there identify animals who have therapy animal potential. It's the number one thing that we hear in this space. People want more therapy animals. And so we need more people to consider this. These are animals I've worked with probably 15 over the past 12 years, and 14 of them have been rescued. So they don't have to be specifically purchased. There's many different ways to have a therapy animal partner with you. So we're just trying to open up people's eyes to the fact that there's a lot of candidates for this work, and we can help people no matter where they are in their journey.
That's amazing. I remember when we were training to become therapy dog team, and the trainer brought her own therapy dog. It was I think it was a French bulldog. He was like so cute, and he was a rescue dog. Mm-hmm. So already at that time, we heard a story, what happened, how he was rescued, and it was just amazing to see how incredible this dog was. And at that time, he had 10 years of doing the therapy work.
Wow.
So it's incredible, because I get that question too sometimes, like, are there any better breeds supposedly to become therapy dogs? And I don't think that's the case. No. But I wonder, because we have about 1 minute left, if you could share with us maybe one powerful situation, little story where you saw what your therapy dog, how he or she impacted.
Yes, I'll go back to my girl Charlie, who was my bulldog, who was a rescue. I talked in the beginning about her helping with reading programs, and she came to me a mess. I worked at a vet, and she was on death's door. She was a stray dog brought in by someone who found her. And after a long journey together, she was healed and she became a therapy animal. But what was so incredible to me, given the context where I worked with incarcerated youth, to be able to tell her story of what she had overcome and her resilience, and of how she still received everyone with love, even though she had been through so much. You wouldn't believe how many of those kids who interacted with her in these reading programs or other educational programs would say to me at the end of the experience, I'm going to be like Charlie. The world has been hard to me, but I'm going to choose to be kind and loving. I'm resilient like Charlie. And as soon as I started to hear those testimonies, I thought, this is what I'm dedicating my life to. And I'm so honored that I get to do that every day.
That's just amazing. My collaborators both say that it's just fascinating to hear. And maybe we'll have at least one listener or more who will be inspired just by hearing what you say, because it's so important that we make this practice more available, and again, in responsible ways. And I know that you and your organization can educate people on these responsibilities, because it's so important that the therapy animals give consent to these activities and what kind of activities, right, they are participating in.
Absolutely. That degree of fit and the handler training is everything. This is an established field with best practices, so we work to make those accessible.
Amazing. And if you, we could potentially talk about it for a long time, I would imagine, to talk about more benefits and more ways of how therapy animals can be included. But I know that this is very interesting because Pet Partners is one of very few organizations that certifies other therapy animals, because sometimes maybe a dog is not a best fit for the classroom, right? Could you tell us a little bit about those other animals?
Yes, we have 9 different species. So dogs are our most popular, most common, I should say. But cats, horses, alpacas, llamas, guinea pigs, rabbits, birds. And so we select our species at Pet Partners based on our understanding of their behavior and our ability to mitigate any zoonosis or infection prevention concerns. So, but we welcome many different species and find that they're all received differently and have a special impact. So you can check out the species that we have at petpartners.org. And if you have one of those animals who would be a good fit, please join us. You wouldn't believe how many visit requests we get after a therapy rat visited a young elementary school classroom. Man, everyone wanted to have the therapy rat come back again and again.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. I haven't heard that. I've heard guinea pigs, rabbits, right? And there's miniature horses, and they are amazing. I don't know if they go into the classroom or maybe only outside. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, it can be different with some of the other species for sure, but they're so interesting to people that even within just itself, we joke, you walk a llama through a nursing home and people are like, wow,
Right. They light
exciting.
up, right? It's totally understandable. And therapy rat, I mean, this is just like so cute, but also so just so beneficial. It's absolutely incredible. And if you could tell us anything else you would like to add, and also tell everybody where you can be followed as far as your organizations, on which social media platforms, that would be great.
Yes. Well, thank you all for being here today, for being the kind of people who care so much about education, that you spend your day doing this work. And we hope that you'll join us in being an advocate for the power of the human animal bond in this work. So check us out on our websites. I also have a YouTube channel, Dr. Dog Lady. You can search my name, Taylor Chastain Griffin, to find it, where I share some videos of just all things dog training and my processes for working with therapy dogs. So I look forward to connecting with many of you there.
Yeah, that's awesome. The videos are awesome. It's a great way of advocating in this area and reaching wider audience. And I wanted to thank you so much for this. It wasn't so much a talk; it was more of a dialogue and conversation, and it was absolutely fabulous. Thank you so much for that. And we will be soon having another guest from Finland. To hear about what Finland is doing that is working in terms of education. But and just a little tip for everyone, it has something to do with well-being, and these are the words that actually you, Tyler, used in this talk too. Right? If you don't feel well, how are you going to learn? How are you going to progress in anything?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Thank you.